Hello, I'm Steven Shomler. Welcome to the introduction for Culinary Treasure Podcast, episode 111. In this episode, I interview Marie Sharp, and I have to tell you, this episode is very, very special to me. Marie Sharp is a national hero in Belize. She's an incredible businesswoman with a very inspiring story. When I was in Belize, I've been to Belize twice recently, there was not any restaurant, beachside dive bar, whatever, that sold food that did not have Marie Sharp's hot sauce on the tables. And I tell you, it is a fantastic hot sauce. As far as her being a national hero, every person at the trip that I went down where I was going to interview her, before the interview, people would say, "What are you doing on this trip?" And I would say, one thing to do is interview Marie Sharp. And boy, their minds were they were so excited that I was going to interview her because they think the world of her. As far as her inspiring story, here's just a little bit you need to know entering this podcast that I think will enhance your experience enjoying it. In 1981, Marie started her first hot sauce company, making her acclaimed habanero pepper sauce. And then tragically, that company was stolen from her, and in 1992, she started her second company, now known as Marie Sharp's Fine Foods. One fun note about that journey, in 2021, Marie Sharp's Hot Sauce Company, founded in 1992, released a 40-year anniversary limited edition hot sauce, and a clever nod to the entire 40 years that Marie has been making her incredible hot sauce. In addition to having her first company unscrupulously taken from her, Marie has also had to battle back from the loss of her son and the loss of her husband, both of whom were involved in her company. Marie's courage and tenaciousness is to be celebrated. I have to tell you, it was an incredible honor for me to interview this dynamic woman. Now, you're about to hear the podcast, but if you want to read the written version of this interview, I invite you to go to culinarytreasure.com and search for the article entitled Marie Sharp's Culinary Treasure Interview with Steven Shomler. I know that some people, when it comes to podcasts, they would prefer to read them rather than listen to them. And this is the only episode I've ever taken the time to get the interview in writing in addition to it being a podcast. So if you want to read this interview, you can go to culinarytreasure.com and search for the article titled Marie Sharp's Culinary Treasure Interview with Steven Shomler. One final note, I recorded this episode at the Marie Sharp Global Headquarters in Belize. I flew down to the beautiful Central American country of Belize. I then traveled to the Stan Creek District. I drove down Melinda Drive, drove on to the Melinda Farm, and that is the home of Marie Sharp's global headquarters. I have to tell you, it was really cool to see the place that Marie has been making her hot sauce since 1981. I know you're going to enjoy this episode. Cheers, everyone. Welcome to Culinary Treasure Podcast. I'm Steven Shomler, your host. Today finds us in the wonderful country of Belize. I've been here in Belize for a few days now and having an incredible time. And I'm so delighted to be here with a true Belizean legend, Marie Sharp, founder of Marie Sharp's Hot Sauce. Marie, thank you so much. It's a delight to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for coming here, and I'm glad you're enjoying your stay.
So questions asked all my guests on all my podcasts. Where were you born?
I was born in Belize City.
And which high school?
In Nanriga.
And in the name of the high school?
Austin High School.
Austin High School. And like a lot of my friends in Europe, high schools in Belize don't have mascots. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's silly fun in America. Our high schools have different mascots. So you started what became Marie Sharp's Hot Sauce in 1981. But tell me about the story about the first time you actually made hot sauce.
Actually, I had an excess of pepper mash, and one night I came home from work and just started playing around with pepper, and I started developing sauces of different kinds. I made the carrot base, I made one with carrots and cabbage, I made one with papaya, I made one with all different kinds of fruits, and just to give away to friends and family. And actually, it was one of my friends who came for it to market the carrot-based sauce, which I found out quickly that it was the favorite of everyone that has tasted it. And I he encouraged me, said, that he said with sauce, it's better than anything that was being sold in the market at that time. And I went out and I bought myself 3 stoves, the tabletop muddies, the full burners, and I bought a pot per stove, and I started making pepper sauce. In the evenings, on my spare time, I didn't give up my job. And I started marketing on weekends. I made my refried beans, I made my fried tortillas, and I would go out and give tasters and go door to door to all of the stores that's in there to put some in their shelves. And that was very thought-starting.
So was the reason you made the fried beans, the tortillas, was to have something to put the hot sauce on for taste?
Yeah, that's the tasty, the tasty taste.
That is brilliant. So now you and your husband ended up with a good-sized farm. Is that part of what motivated this?
Yes, that was a part of it. He ended up with the farm, and we started planting fruits that could be sold in Belize locally. And actually, it was on one of my sister's phone calls that really made me start planting habanero peppers for someone who was...
And just tilt a little closer to your face there.
And he was the medical officer in Belize, and he was producing a pepper sauce. I went ahead and planted peppers. Unfortunately, he was only doing a very small amount of pepper sauce. So I ended up with peppers that they had no market for, and I had to find something to do with it. And that was what really motivated me to start to play a role with different formulas to use the mash that they had on hand.
So you made some hot sauce at home.
Yes.
Everyone said it was good. You chose to go with carrot and habanero, right?
Yeah.
You don't yet have a business, and you then bought 3 stoves. Is that right?
Yes, 3 stoves.
Now, you must have believed in yourself that you were going to sell that hot sauce to buy 3 stoves. Most people would buy 1 or use the one they had.
Well, I never for a moment thought that I would not be able to sell what I was producing, because I was going to put up my all behind it. But that was why I started with 3.
Now I think I have a little bit of insight of why your business is such an incredible success. You just have that spark and that fire and determination. You've had it from the very beginning. And with this, back to this farm, you still have the farm is 400 acres.
400 acres.
And a lot of people in America have no idea what that is, but I grew up on 260 acres in the middle of nowhere, Southern California. 9 miles of dirt road to get to where I grew up. We had an outhouse till I was 7. We had no running water, no electricity till I was 12. So 400 acres is a good-sized piece of property, and you still grow. What do you still grow stuff on the farm to this day?
Yes, everything that we produce as a product here at Prince Shops is going on the farm.
What are some of the products you grow?
We grow mangoes, we grow papayas, we grow pineapples, we grow guavas, we grow tamarind, we grow mangoes, oranges, grapefruits. We grow all this, the fruits that you could think of, we have in this farm. And apart from that, we grow some of our own peppers. Since my husband passed away the last 3 years, we haven't done so, but we used to grow some of our own carrots also. So we grow some of everything that we turn into a product.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so in the United States, skipping ahead to the story, the United States now, we're reporting this in 2022, is your largest market, second to Japan. Took a long time to the United States to become your largest market for Marie Sharp's.
Yeah.
But in the United States, you sell mainly hot sauce, right?
We sell everything.
Everything in the States. Okay, because I get here at the Shell stores in Belize, and I see a beautiful row of Marie Sharp's hot sauce. Like, I think you make 900 different flavors. But then I saw a whole bunch of jellies and jams, and I was like, oh my goodness.
We do jams and jellies. We do 9 varieties of jams and jellies. All our jams and jellies are made from fruits again grown on the farm. We do banana, coconuts, guava, mango, and papaya, pineapple, orange jelly, orange marmalade. So we do them all, and it's all of a very high content, no preservatives, no food color. We use the unrefined sugarcane sugar, so it's as natural as you can get it. And now we also do pepper jellies. We do green mango chutney. We do a steak sauce that's made from tamarind, green peppers. So all our products are fresh ingredients. We don't have anything in there that is powdered, nothing. Even our pepper sauce, everything we grow on the limes for pepper sauce. So, everything that you get in that sauce is fresh ingredients.
Yep.
Our jams as jet is the same thing.
So in my journey, when I tell my story to people, I talk about that I've battled back from some different challenges in my life. I call them my 3 great disasters. And you've battled back from a lot of things. A lot of people have struggled to build one business. And in my head, you've built 2 businesses. Because that first company you started in 1981, that was Melinda's Hot Sauce. Is that right?
Yeah.
And why did you call it Melinda's Hot Sauce?
I call it Melinda because the name of the farm is Melinda. Melinda. This is Melinda Estates. And I thought that because we grew what you're putting into the product here, that's the correct name for the product should be Melinda.
And by the way, it's a beautiful farm. I've been blessed to be on a lot of farms in my journey for what I do for culinary storytelling, and you just have a beautiful farm. It's quite amazing. So 1981, you started Melinda's Hot Sauce, and then roughly 1992, you started over from scratch with Marie Sharp's Hot Sauce.
Right.
You had a challenge with the distributor in the United States, and we'll leave that story for another time, although the Andre side of me would like to tell it, but we'll leave that for another time. But you were put in a situation you didn't want to be in, where you had to start all over from scratch. No funds. Nobody knew who Marie Sharp's Hot Sauce was.
Yeah.
How did that feel to have to it must have just felt like a kick in the stomach.
Actually, I curled up in my bed and cried for bees. And I actually thought that I was to give up, just give up. And actually, it was one of my distributors, somebody that was setting sauce for me out of New Jersey. And he called and he said, Marie, what is going on? Said, I'm waiting around some salt center and told him that happened. And he said, and what are you doing? I said, I've given up. And he said, that's not like you. He said, you get out of that bed, you get on your knees and you pray. You ask God to give you strength. And I know you can do it, and you get up and do it to get over, start over again. And actually, I listened to him and I thought, what he's saying is right. And I just got up and I said, no, I'm going to fight them. I'm not going to leave them to just enjoy something that I started. And to that stern, I got up and actually with the help of my mentors who were willing to finance me again, I started over.
I just have to applaud your courage. I know I help people. Well, 2 different things I do in my life. I'm a culinary storyteller. I'm a life story alchemist. I help people go live the life they want and start businesses. For so many people, they want to start a business and they just don't have it in to start one. And you had to start 2. And the second one you had to start was in the face of a brutal loss. And I just can't tell you how much I admire your courage. You're truly an inspiration.
Well, it was very, very difficult because, it was hard to convince people that this sauce I was selling is one and the same. It's just a different name. It's only the name. I had to tell the whole world is this. I had to, spread as much as I could the story so that people would know why I had to change and what had happened.
Well, it's almost one and the same. It's the same you. Up until roughly 91, it was your recipe and you made it.
Yeah.
But after roughly 91, Melinda's Hot Sauce does not have your recipe.
No.
It doesn't have your name.
No.
You never gave them your recipe. It's your secret.
Yeah.
I think I heard a rumor that there's a big vault. There's a 12-foot vault and it's locked up and only certain people have it. But that, so it is, so up until 91, it was the same. And you could say, hey, when you first started in 92, 93, hey, the Melindas you used to have, this is the same stuff. Now it's my name. But now it's not the same hot sauce. And your hot sauce is my favorite hot sauce. I'll tell you my Marie Sharp's hot sauce story in a bit, but it is absolutely incredible. So why the name Marie Sharp's when you had to start over in roughly 92?
Actually, it was my lawyer who convinced me to put my name on it because he said, it's so easy to steal a generic name. It's not as easy to steal a person's name. And a living person's name, So he convinced me of that. And that is when I decided to, yes, I'm ready to putting my name on it.
I'm so glad you said that, because what a joy to have. I've raised daughters. I have a stepdaughter, and I don't know how things are in Belize. I can only speak about my own country, but the United States, for many years, in my opinion, just my opinion, women were given a much harder time in business and in life, and had a tougher path. And I don't like that. I don't think it's right. And I think it's really, really important we celebrate women in business, so that at least I want my daughters to know that they can, they can do what they want to do in life. So I think that's part of the beauty of your name being on it, is that there is an actual incredible businesswoman behind this magnificent hot sauce.
Yes, it was a very difficult thing that we had to face, because when I came down to this farm, my husband picked me my first factory on the farm here. Remember, I was doing all this in my kitchen. Came down to the farm. Here, I did not have electricity. I did not have phones. I did not have it. I mean, we were like in a jungle, We didn't have any facility here. So it was very difficult. We had to, on the power that I had to generate, it was out of a generator, one of these big old things that, your crank constantly kicks in and start up, and that was my power. That then was the fly.
And those are very loud. I can get around those.
Yes, very noisy, very loud. And that was how I started them here. And actually it was, I think because my sauce was quickly known and all story that without and so on, that the government officials started visiting me. And when they saw where I was, and I told them I had no electricity, I had nothing, they started helping and they put in electricity for me. And they might have telephones, but this was years after my being in existence and having to work without the facilities.
I wish I did know what that was like, but we didn't have a phone in my house, a landline, until I was 13. And I grew up in the old days before there were cell phones. So I know what it's like to have to drive into town or drive to the neighbors to get a phone.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that brings back some memories. So I wish I didn't know what it's like, but I do. And hats off to you for all. I didn't realize you even faced the obstacles, no electricity and no phone. That's just incredible.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I admired you a lot before, and now it just in my mind, your legend is growing even more. And for the first flavor you started with, that was the habanero.
Is it mild? With mine, the first one that I made was the mild.
Mild.
Yeah.
Yep.
The carrot base mild habanero pepper sauce. And that was the first one we put out. And after a while, people just went, "Oh, it's not hot enough."
Then you have what? I think I remember 872 flavors now. Is that right?
No, we only have 14.
And they're all good. That's the great thing. They're all good. But you have a newer super hot one. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, we do. We have that. We have a habanero scorpion. Habanero scorpion one. It's very hot.
Yeah, so you have a new cultivar. Is it red horn? Is that right?
Yeah, that's the red horn.
Yeah, cultivar. And then the sauce is some habanero and some scorpion.
Scorpion pepper.
And that's what? Is it 5 times hotter than the regular habanero?
Yes.
I don't think I could eat that. My wife can. She can eat hot sauce and she'll sweat and she's happy. And I have too much hot sauce, I think I'm going to die. So, but I love the mild. I love the mild very much. And, last year when I knew I was coming to Belize, I started even eating more of your hot sauce to prepare to meet with you. So, if I had to eat your hot sauce in front of you, I could honor you, because I didn't want to be aware.
Okay. We have different flavors at the moment. We know we have the carrot base sauces. Then we have one that's tomato base, one that is pineapple base, one that is the orange pot, grapefruit pot with the yellow. Those are odd yellow habaneros. The tomato, the pineapple, and the orange and grapefruit are yellow habanero with the two, because those are yellow sauces. And then we have the green one, which is the pretty fair cactus. and the green habanero. So we have quite a bit. Then we have the smoked habaneros. We have 2 smoked habanero peppers. So we have quite a wide selection of peppers.
So you started over roughly 92, and it's 2022 now. My math is not so good. I didn't like math in school, but that's roughly 20 years. Is that right?
We had now 40 years in business. Well, 1981 to now, it's 40 years.
Yep. Since we had to start over again from Marie Sharp, that was roughly, that's rough. Well, that's
92 and
30 years? That's 30 years. 30 years for Marie Sharp, 40 years that's just an incredible legacy. When you had to start over Marie Sharp, what were some of the first, because what's interesting about your brand is you are on every table here in Belize, every restaurant I've been to, I love dive bars, I don't know if you have what you call them here, but in the United States, we have rundown, old, smelly, dirty bars. We call them dive bars, and I love them. So from the best restaurants to the dive bars, your hot sauce is on every restaurant in Belize, but you sell internationally. There's a whole bunch of countries today that you sell your hot sauce in.
Yeah. And we have been lucky that farms. In the latter years, the tourism industry became the number 1 income earner for Belize. And it's that same tourist industry that has put us where we are to be. Because the tourists just take away massive amounts of our resources every time they visit Belize. Not only resources, but other products. And so they have become like my ambassadors because, they carry for family and friends and so on and give away. And they were the ones that having made Marie Sharp's famous. Because before that, I couldn't get into the U.S. supermarkets because it was so expensive to get in there. The U.S., all the supermarkets in the U.S., you vote to them, you want $3,000 per product per store, per product.
Wow.
Per store. And then it doesn't end here. You still have to go out to the memos and you have to do coupons and you have to do all that is in the world. And that is no costs of getting in there. So as we went into the American markets, what we did was just avoid the supermarkets and deal with the mom and pops. We did the exotic, the high-end stores. We did the ethnic stores. But we just kept away from the supermarkets because of the cost of getting in there. So actually, it wasn't until the tourists started to make it known, and so that then we were able to then have the supermarkets come to us rather than we were today.
So back in 92, 93, 94, when you were starting over as Marie Sharp, what are some of the first countries outside of Belize that you were exporting to?
Japan was my largest market. The Japanese world, because for a number of years. And after Japan, the food came along, Jody. The Germany, and the Germans, and then.
And have you visited some of these countries?
Oh yes. Yes, we've been to food shows in quite a number. We've been to Japan, we have been to Germany, we have been to Korea, we've been to, Jody went to Spain, to China too. What was the place that you went to China? Shanghai, we went to Taiwan, we've been to France, we've been to UK, we've been to all over. Within the universe.
So did you ever think when you were in high school, just down the road here near Pomona, that someday you would find yourself in France or Japan running a very large hot sauce empire?
No, never. Never.
So you faced a few other challenges. We have something in common that I wish we could have in common. We have both lost children. That is a very horrible thing. And your son was a part of your business, and you lost him.
Yes, he was. He was the manager for the what? warehouse in Belize City. And actually, he was the one who put us over the whole country. The keys to everywhere. He was the person to he really did a good job in marketing working.
So I recorded a Culinary Treasure podcast episode as well with your grandson, Jody, and your son, that's Jody's father. So Jody, you lost a son, Jody lost his father, and now Jody does part of what your son did.
Yes.
As far as, the international distribution and those kind of things.
Yes, Jody's the marketing person for Very Sharp Sis.
I think if I'd had a grandson for my son Zane and I got to be in business with him, that would probably, the heartache of losing a child never goes away, but I'm sure being able to work with Jody brings some joy.
Yes, it does. Yes, it is.
And then another thing you face, I'm just so impressed. You're still here. We're at your desk. You're working. You probably work too many hours, I'm guessing. That's my guess. I tease Jody about that on the podcast, but you love what you do.
Yes, I do. Even though I'm not doing very much at this time because, but I'm almost ready to be put out the pasture now. But
now, are you gonna retire someday?
I don't know. I don't know. I still feel myself a part of everything that happens here. I'm here every day from morning until evening.
Well, in my opinion, and I have no business. What I say doesn't matter. But in my opinion, if you decide to retire, and just enjoy life, have you ever had a fry jack?
I make them, yes.
For those that don't know, a fry jack is this incredible, it's just an amazing Belizean delicacy. They probably make it in other parts of Central America, I'm assuming, but a fantastic breakfast. You just take a little bit of black beans, avocado, egg, bacon, stuff it inside a fry jack, and dump some hot sauce on it. That's a fantastic breakfast. So you could just retire, stay home, have some fry jacks for breakfast with all those things in it, and just enjoy life. It's okay to do that.
Yes, I know, but I think even though my niece and my grandson and everybody here is putting their all into the company and I know they can do it, I still feel that I should be here.
I understand. You put your heart and soul into it. And I don't want to hurt your heart, but another loss you've had to battle back from is recently you lost your husband.
Yes, I lost my husband 2 years ago. Almost the same time with my son. He was just make a proper lead city, both of them.
And your husband was, I'm guessing behind the scenes, always very helpful and supportive of you in business?
Yes, he was the general manager for the citrus company in Belize for 42 years. And after he retired, then he came and he started helping me here. So he worked with us up until the things right.
Well, I'm so sorry for your losses. It's very hard, but so impressive to me that you battled back from it and kept going.
And then I have to, yes.
Yeah. So I want to tell you two of my Marie Sharp hot sauce stories. So I started out in Portland, Oregon. You know what a food truck is, right? And so in Portland we call them food carts, and they don't have, most of them don't have engine steering wheels. They take some wheels and they build a shack on them and put up walls and put in a stove, and if you take it down the freeway, it may fly apart.
Yes.
And so Andy and Tiffany Love. Tiffany is amazing. She moved to the United States from Belize and married Andy Love, and they started a food cart, Love Belizean.
Shit.
Because that's their last name. So in 2014, on April 14th, 2014, I looked and found the photos. I went to try Belizean food for the first time in my life, and they had 3 dishes, rice and beans, and beef and rice, and chicken and rice, and they were all amazing. And I still have the picture. There's this all of this Marie Sharp's hot sauce. And I said, what's this? And now Tiffany went on and on how amazing her hot sauce was, and she loved it, and she loved you, and they put some on and all my food. I thought I was going to die. It was so hot. But I fell in love with your hot sauce. I fell in love with Belizean food, and it stuck in my head. And by the way, I called Tiffany and talked to her, and she says to tell you how much she loves you, and she's so grateful. You've never met her, but you inspired her. She's a young entrepreneurial woman, and you've inspired her. And part of her successful business is your inspiration. So that's 2014. Then about 5 years ago, I started dating my wife, and I open up the cupboard, and there's like 6-7 jar bottles of Marie Sharp hot sauce. And I said, what is this doing here? Because I remember from 2014, and she tells me the story how 20 some years ago she came and spent some time volunteering in the medical field, and she fell in love with your hot sauce. And so it's just been a joy to me to actually get to be here and see your farm and meet your family and get to interview you. You've had a big impact on a lot of people. Are you aware of that?
I think so. When I became aware of it was when we went to the to New York for the the
State, the Hall of Fame,
and then the Hall of Fame for peppers in New York, and we went for the what they call it, the induction for the induction.
Yeah, you inducted in the Hot Pepper Hall of Fame.
Pepper Hall of Fame. And when we got there was lots of people from different companies. And actually, several of them came and said, he shook my hand. He said, "You were my inspiration. You made me really see, and they were. I mean, they really made me feel good, because I had touched a lot of people that I didn't even know about."
So you've inspired entrepreneurs, lots of entrepreneurs. And then the other group of people you've inspired tremendously is Belizeans. Yesterday, I walked to a resort near where we're staying, and we ran into the general manager, and he gives us a tour, and I love getting a tour thing. Then he says, "Oh, I'll show you this garden." So we got to his garden. The resort has a garden, and I'm looking at all the things they're growing, and I meet their gardener, Jose, and he's amazing. I wonder, do they have an executive chef? And I asked if there's an executive chef here, and they say, yes, he's right over there. He was at the other side of the garden taking notes. So we went over and visited with him. His name was Enrique Awe, which to my dumb American eyes looks like Chef Awe, which is really, I just love that. But Chef Awe, we started visiting and talking, and I mentioned to him that I was coming here today, and his eyes lit up. And he just moved back to Belize to work as a chef. He spent 20 years working in the United States and as a chef, and he told me that every time he'd go to the store and see your bottle of hot sauce on the shelf, it was a big source of national pride. It made him so proud to be from Belize. So I think you've inspired entrepreneurs, but you've inspired lots and lots of Belizeans.
Yeah. And we have lots of Belizeans that call to the city, weirdly. Some people that visit Japan and sell pepper in the supermarket, and they feel so happy about it, So we have a lot of people that do that. And by the way, I must tell you here that I don't know if you saw the news last night, but they just won a taste test in Dubai for our mango habanero pepper sauce. So from all the peppers that were presented here from the Caribbean and from other factories, Marie Sharp's won the best tasting pepper sauce in Dubai.
Well, I wish I could say a surprise, but I'm an author. I write books, and I think if I was to start to make a list of all the awards you've won, it would take up a whole book, and it's very well deserved.
Yeah.
You have just won so many awards for your hot sauce.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite ways, as we close, for you to enjoy your hot sauce? What do you do at home with it when you have your hot sauce?
I put it on everything I eat. I put it on everything that we eat.
Well, the other night I had some ribs, and there was the ribs, the glaze for the ribs was a mixture of your hot sauce and some of your jelly mixed together and put on the grill, and they were absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, lots of people use or pepper jellies for that. They mix the pepper jelly, and they use it for that for affection. Putting on your ham when you're baking your ham.
So this is probably like asking about which one of your children is your favorite. But do you have, you have what, 14 flavors now? Is that right? Do you have a couple that are more of your favorites than another?
I was changing as it goes along, right? Because my favorite really is my original. It's the mild habanero. And then I can put a lot on if I want a lot of heat. But now I'm at my, the garlic pepper sauce. So, I
go back between those two?
Between those two, yes. And I also must mention here that the pineapple pepper sauce a percentage of the sales from the pineapple pepper sauce goes towards violence against women. So we donate a fraction of the sales of that to the Haven House in Belize. That done. So it's amazing.
That's fantastic. It's very, very important. Marie, it's been a joy and a delight to have you on the podcast. You've overcome so much and you've built such an incredible business. I didn't know that you started out in a place with no electricity and no phone. I knew lots of your challenges. I didn't know that one. What an impressive story you have. What an incredible businesswoman you are. Not just a businesswoman, but a chef, because you made the sauce. I mean, that's not an easy thing to make a really good hot sauce. I've had lots of hot sauce, but I haven't had very many really good ones. So I just, congratulations to you and thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
And thank you very much too. Thank you for coming here.